On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan is heartless and Tony fights mechanical monsters. Well, howdy everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey.
What's up?
This isn't awkward at all, recording a show together.
It's been a while. Like, we took basically the whole month of December off. Because
pretty much.
The holidays fell on recording days or right after recording days, and people got sick, and it was just a mess. So we just decided December's a wash. Let's just,
Yeah, like the episode I uploaded in December was actually like
it was
from
like 2 weeks old.
November. And then the special speedrun episode that was due to the me wanting to get something to fill the gap in, and thank you to Cutie Roo, Power Forge, and Luigi.
Yep.
For coming to be on that special episode. That was great.
Yep, but we are back.
Really hope you enjoyed that.
Cole is not here with us this week. He's off this week. He should hopefully be back pretty soon. So it's just the two of us tonight. We got a little bit of stuff to talk about. I've been playing one game in particular for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I guess I can just go ahead and start, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like we don't have any banter already.
But I have
it's
been...
at the end of the episode.
Is it?
It will be.
Okay, there you go. I have been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Earlier this year, about 3 months ago or so, I bought a PS5.
Yeah.
And it came with a copy of Horizon Forbidden West, which I was like, I don't know. I don't really care about that franchise. I don't know that I'm going to redeem this code, but I did. I was like, it's here. It's free. I might as well. I'll just add it to my library in case I decide to play it someday. So it's been sitting there. I have owned a copy of Horizon Zero Dawn for a couple of years now, because I found it on sale for $5 at GameStop one day, and I was just like, okay, yeah, sure, I could do that. I've never played it, but it's been sitting there on my shelf, so I was like, I want something to play. I've been looking for something to play for a while. The game, it looks kind of interesting. It did happen to come out on the same day as Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild, of course, took
destroyed it.
Yeah, took precedence for me over Horizon Zero Dawn, and I just sort of forgot about it. But man, I am kind of kicking myself now that I have not played this game before now, because I, for the most part, have been really, really liking this game. And I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I watched, I had one of my daughter's old boyfriends live with us for a while, and I watched him play part of it at the beginning. I was like, I don't want to do anything with like that young Aloy stuff. It just looks boring and dumb. I don't know.
It was your tutorial. You learn how to sneak around and get in trouble.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that's not very long. That it's maybe an hour of the game that you play as young Aloy, just to get through learning how to sneak around the monsters in the overworld. And so I quickly got past that part and got to where basically the whole world is open to me at this point. And man, I am really enjoying the game. It's got some issues. The open world is really sort of barren. There's not a lot going on. There are large spaces of time where you can, wander around and not see anybody or anything. And that's kind of
It's kind of the curse of an open world.
Yeah, I mean they have a huge open world that you can play around in, but because of that, it is really empty. There's not a lot going on. There are, a handful of side quests here and there where you'll run into someone and they'll be like, go find my brother. He ran off and he should have been back days ago and he's disappeared. And you go and you spend 30 minutes doing a side quest, and then you get back to the main story. So the actual story bits themselves, I have very much enjoyed. I think, the story itself is really good. The characters, not so much. Like I don't, I don't find myself, being like, oh, hey, that was a character I'm going to remember for a long time. They're all just sort of blank slates to sort of push the story along. It's been the gameplay itself during the missions that's really kept my interest, and I have really, really enjoyed. I think the combat in the game is really, really good.
It's been a good while since I played it, and I have not beaten the game at all. I did a there was like some kind of ceremony or something.
Yeah, they call it the proving.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Did that, and then I think I quit like shortly after that.
Yeah, so you didn't actually get very far into the game.
It feels like I played for like 15 hours.
I mean, yeah, but that is the very beginning. It's what happens at the proving that really sets the story in motion.
Want to play the game again. Yeah.
It's after that things start to really ramp up and open up for you. Because at that point in the story, that's when her tribe gets attacked by a bunch of other, another tribe that you then are going to find out why they did what they did. Who are the people that, attacked you? How did they, how were they able to see you? Because one of them has one of those things, they call it a focus. I think that thing that's in her ear.
Yeah, I ran into a guy that had one. I think his was broken, and she tried to talk to him, and he was like being a jerk about it.
Yeah, and it's his focus that you end up seeing that he is actually part of working with the people that attacked her tribe.
Oh, that jerk.
Yeah, so it's because of what she sees that she finds out that he can see and hear through his focus that leads her to basically go on the quest that she's going on. But I like, for the most part, I really like the stealth stuff. I've been trying to play the game really, really stealthily to make it feel sort of like an Assassin's Creed game. I mean, it's not as good as an Assassin's Creed game as far as the stealth
not
goes.
At all.
But I have found it's much easier to get through the game if you try to play it as a stealth game rather than trying to brute force your way through everything. Because she's really just not set up to get into large scale fights with groups of people. I mean, she can do it, but
you're going to lose a lot of stuff in the process.
Yeah, she really is set up to, sneak around, take guys out one at a time, if possible, and do everything as quietly as possible. At least that's the way I've found. Maybe there's a way to set up, use the skill tree to set her up to be more of a sort of, barbarian type character, but I've found playing as a sneaky ranger works a lot better.
Well, I mean, you're going against a prehistoric looking robot.
Yeah. It's been really fun and really interesting to see this world, because it is our world. It is Earth. You are I assume you're in North America. I think there are, you're talking about, there's some stuff that deals with, like you're in the Washington area, like this, you see the Space Needle or something at some point. But it's been really interesting to see how they've taken and made our world look like a prehistoric sort of world where everything is just falling apart. And you see skyscrapers and you see, the steel buildings that we have built that are just fallen completely into ruin, completely rusted over, and how that's integrated into their world. That's been really fun and really interesting to see as you go through the game.
Yeah, I always like it whenever you have something where it's like it's set in like a post-apocalyptic setting where either it's desert or overgrown or something,
Hmm.
and you can kind of recognize landmarks here because it's like, what if is this what it would look like? Would these structures still stand of some kind?
Yeah. Like I don't know when this is supposed to take place. I don't know if that's ever talked about in the game or they've said, hey, this takes place this many years into the future or
Wasn't there
whatever.
like space travel involved with this one or something? It's been a moment. I really don't remember.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I've seen some areas in the game that are advanced past what we would have, and look sort of alien in their design. So I don't know. Maybe there is.
Because I want to say like when you're the child running around and before you get or when you're getting the focus and you're like in this I guess a science lab, but it also could have been like a crashed spaceship that you're just
Yeah.
running through the interior of, and it's like you're like one of the people that were frozen or a clone. I think you're a clone of someone.
I don't know. I've
Like I
seen
said, it's been a couple of years since I touched the game.
one of the big story beats that I'm dealing with right now is that I'm trying to find someone who I look like but has short hair. And she's wondering if it's her mother, because there's obviously a familial resemblance, whether she is a clone, and this is another version of her, or if this is actually her mother and she just, very strongly resembles her mother.
Could be like Boba Fett.
Possibly. We could be running into that. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the story to see because I've hit one of those points where I'm loving the game, but I've hit one of those points where it makes me want to just shut it off and snap the disc in half.
Oh,
Because I'm doing a mission and it's a mission where I'm going into this area, there's a bunch of guys and a bunch of these, mechanical watchers that, if one of them sees you, it alerts everybody in the camp and they all come at you. And there's one of the giant robots that they call corruptors that are really, really hard to deal with. And if one of them sees you, and if they're coming at you while everybody else is coming at you, there is no way to survive it. And so what I was trying to do was take out all the humans, take out all the little robots, and then save the game, and then go after the other guy. So I didn't have to keep redoing the same part over and over and over again because I was just constantly failing it. Because the second I lose the stealth and have to start, fighting everything, it's over. I put the controller down, I let them kill me, and I restart at the last checkpoint. I found out doing this that the game saves in a way that you can't do that. So I can't take out a bunch of people, save the game, and then go back into the mission and fight the one big robot. Because the second you save the game, it resets the entire camp.
oh,
And I didn't realize that at first. I was taking out 2 or 3 guys, and then I'd run to the one of the campfires where you can save the game, and I'd do a quick save, and I'd run back over, and it wasn't clicking that it was resetting the game. So I did this like 3 or 4 times, thinking
it was basically doing the Dark Souls thing.
yeah, I was thinking I was, whittling guys down, and there were just more than I had originally thought. But I took out everybody. There was only the one giant corruptor left. I ran back, saved the game, and when I came back, everybody was back. And I was like, okay, that is frustrating and irritating.
Now, if it was like a traditional RPG, it'd be worth the experience points.
Yeah, but I was having so much trouble getting past this point that I had finally reached one of those places where I was like, okay, I can handle this. It's just the one guy. Let's do this. And it reset everybody, and I just got so frustrated. I was like, I got to put this away for a little bit. I haven't touched it for about 2 days. I think I'm ready to go back and try again because I know what to do. It's just taking me a little longer than I wanted it to.
Yeah,
So.
that's very frustrating. Like, I would have similar, or not similar situations, but similar frustration. Yeah, similar frustrations with Splinter Cell. Chaos Chaos Theory? Was that number 3?
I don't remember which one is
Whatever the
which.
third one is, on Steam, there's like a glitch where, like, if you're trying to save scum it, it's like the enemies don't like reset properly on the reload, and so every time you like reload, chances are they're just going to be looking right at you and not turn around ever.
Yeah.
It's like they're locked in place, their AI is broken or something. So it's like just okay. I got to restart the entire level. I can't just. And so took some planning to figure it out, but got through it eventually.
I did run into one situation that was kind of funny where there were two of those giant corruptors in this place that I was at.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened in the game. I don't know what it was, but they never registered that I was there. So I just stood right in front of them, shot them both in the face about 100 times with an arrow, and finished the mission because neither of them would realize that I was standing there, trying to kill them. So I took advantage of that little glitch to get past that section. But I don't know if this is a save glitch or if this is the way the game actually works, and that if you save the game, it resets whatever you're doing. But that's the one spot where I've been like, you know what, I don't know if I want to keep playing this game or not, because I'm enjoying it, but this is really, really frustrating.
Yeah, I can, I get it. I totally get it.
So, but there's nothing else out right now that I really want to play, so I'm going to give this one a little bit more time and try to replay this mission and see. It may be one of those things where I've done this a bunch, I put it away for a couple days, I come back and I finish it the first time. Because that has happened more than once, where I got, irritated or frustrated at something, put it away for even a day, and came back and did what I was, struggling to do on the first try. So, but that has really been it for me. I want to finish this game and maybe at some point try Forbidden West. I don't know that I don't think I'll play them back to back. I think I'll put something in between them if I do play Forbidden
Just
West.
let that frustration have time to settle down afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know how that game ends, and you're gonna need that buffer in between there.
Okay. But that's been it for me. What have you been playing this week?
Oh man, it has been some time since I have played this game that I'm talking about. This game is called Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've actually been streaming playing it, so it's not that big a deal, really. If you follow my channel, you've probably seen that the alerts I'm playing Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 1.5 remix or something that comes with 1 and 2, and this was the 2-disc set that came with everything in the Kingdom Hearts universe, I guess.
Yes,
it has 3.
It has everything.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like everything's on 1 disc, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 is on another disc. That's it.
Oh, see, I've got the digital version, and it split it into 3. It gives me the 1.5, the 2.8, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 is a separate download. So, I wasn't sure how the physical one would work.
Physical, I just put the disc in there, and it's like, I think I can just say I want to play Kingdom Hearts, and it gives me the option between 1 and 2, and then there's like the option for like Chain of Memories and then other stuff on there.
Yeah, I don't remember which ones are playable, because not all of them are playable. Some of them, they just basically give you the cutscenes to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, if you're just wanting story, you have everything there to get it.
I know Dream Drop Distance is playable, which was
really?
That was the 3DS game. Yeah, that one is a fully playable.
It might be the PS. Well, that'd be weird for the PSP version not be playable. Anyway. I am 11 hours into this game.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to the jungle area for Tarzan.
Mm-hmm. You've done Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, and I've also gone to Agrabah.
Agrabah, yeah.
Yeah, you were there for that one for a little bit of it.
Yep.
And I went over to the Coliseum for Hercules after doing all that. So like I did all this other stuff, and Coliseum's like a level 2 area,
Hmm.
and I went to like out Tarzan and Alice in Wonderland. It was like level 3 on up from there.
Yeah.
So it's like I did this out of order, and so I couldn't figure out how to get the goat guy voiced by Danny DeVito to react to me. He was like, yeah, whatever. And then I saw there's this big rock, and I tried to push it, and I did it today, just from a certain side, and Sora goes, "It's heavy. I can't move it." And he's like, "What do you mean it's too heavy?" He's like, "Oh, I got a cutscene." And so everything kind of fell into place. Got to do become junior heroes on there, and going through all the fights on that to get to that point. And I'm just one-shotting every enemy I encounter.
Yeah, because you went there way after you're supposed to. I
Yeah.
want to say when I played it, I did Tarzan first, Alice in Wonderland, then Hercules, and then Aladdin.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like I'm gonna have to come back way later when I have this yellow Trinity thing. I've gotten up to green so far, so I'm not doing too bad, I guess. And I mean it's just it's Kingdom Hearts. You run around hitting people with your Keyblade, casting some magic, getting mad at Donald and Goofy for using all your healing items you tell them to equip and use only in emergencies.
Hmm. Yep. The one thing that keeps me from going back to replay Kingdom Hearts is the gummy ship sections of Kingdom Hearts 1.
If you watch my stream, I spend a lot of time just building the gummy ship.
Like I absolutely
More time
hate,
than any man should on there, really.
I absolutely hate those gummy ship sections of Kingdom Hearts 1.
I've gotten it down to a fine science. I am like overpowered on there. And that was like after maybe 2 runs with the gummy ship, I was overpowered when I knew I had equipment.
Hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I'm having fun with this. I don't care. It's fun. I can shoot everything down. Went and bought like all the upgrades I could right today as well for the gummy ship. And then I went to the store to buy weapons. I didn't have any money for it. So Donald and Goofy are still using what they've started the game with.
Hmm.
I don't feel bad at all about that. And I refuse to sell items on there. So that's a thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of just running around Traverse Town, I think, right now. Trying to. I know there's like a few secrets here and there. Because I went over to the Hercules area, I finally got the thunder ability.
Yeah.
Or lightning or something. So I got to go back over to Traverse Town and use it to power up the thing. Then I go to the other place, hit the buttons, go to the other place, do a thing, and that unlocks a thing somewhere. And I don't know what all I'm doing. I should probably look at a guide.
Might be a good idea.
And I'm doing all this just so I can finally beat this one again. I've beaten the original PS2 version.
Hmm.
I think I lost the save file. I have a memory card sitting around here, but I don't know what's on what anymore. And then the fact that I transferred them to my PS3 because I have the adapter, and that PS3 hard drive had to get formatted or reformatted because of an issue a long time ago. So I think that save file is lost to the ether,
Oh.
along with the Kingdom Hearts 2 save file, where I was right at the end and stopped right there because I just had stuff to go back to do. I didn't feel like doing it, so here we are, working my way back up the food chain.
Yeah, I would really like to go back and play some Kingdom Hearts, but those games are so long. They're such a time investment, especially if you want to get the whole story. And I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 3 the first time and putting it away because I hit a cutscene that was literally, I think, an hour long. And I was like, I am not doing this. I cannot.
It's basically just watching Square Enix making Disney movies.
Yeah. I spent an hour in the Tangled world, and I was like, no, this is not what I signed up for. I'm not going to play a 100-hour game where I'm watching cutscenes for 50% of it.
Oh man, is the gecko in there? Or no, was it a gecko? No, the
A lizard
chameleon.
of some sort.
I think it was a chameleon. A chameleon.
Yeah, I think so.
Man. Yeah, I don't even know what all worlds are in Kingdom Hearts 3. I've
I don't
seen
either.
one from a speed run and I stopped watching. I think it was the Big Hero 6 world. But yeah, just worked my way through Kingdom Hearts. And I've been playing other stuff, but that that's pretty much the only thing that's not Destiny related.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, if that's it, how about we take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the news. All right, so up first in the news this week, Sonic Frontiers has had a demo added to the eShop.
Yes.
I don't know if any of the other versions of the game have the demo. I just saw the news about Switch getting one.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, it'd be weird for them not to, but I guess since, the Switch has like the lower processing and stuff, it might be a better idea to have a demo on the Switch.
Yeah.
So people can be like, oh, this actually does run okay. It looks good. And,
mm-hmm. Man, this section I'm watching right now looks really fun. It looks like, classic side-scrolling Sonic is. All I've ever seen of the game before is the open world stuff, and so I haven't been super keen on the game.
Yeah, try the demo.
Okay.
I'm just I can't tell you what you want to hear. Just you have to experience.
Like if it was just this side scroll, like that's the stuff that looks good. Like the open world
that's far and few between.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
And there are times in the open world where you'll get launched into a side-scrolling section.
Yeah.
Against your will. And then if you approach it from a certain angle, you can, or from another location or something, you can be in the 3D mode going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Which worked a lot better for a lot of them.
If I haven't looked at the demo, I haven't checked it out to see what it is. If it's like most of the typical Sonic demos, it's probably 2 levels, or it'll be 2 small sections. I don't know how they're.
I can see them probably locking you to like a small the first island probably. Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know. Which, I mean, that's 1/5 of the entire game there.
Yeah, they probably would, shrink it down to a very small area, and maybe like if you can do one of these side-scrolling sections or something, just to give you an idea of kind of what the game is going to be like.
I mean, if the one island was all it was, I mean that's pretty solid. That's like way more than the demo should be, and that's a solid experience. So, yeah. If you want to try Sonic Frontiers on Switch, there's your demo.
Yep. So go and check that out.
Good game, by the way. I played on PC. Could be better, but it was a good game.
That's a lot of games are like, it's a good game. Probably could be a little better, but
I mean, to say it's a good game for a Sonic the Hedgehog one, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Well, Sony announced this week that they are going to be releasing a new accessibility controller, much like Microsoft has their one. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one that looks like the giant. Looks like a DJ table.
Giant rec. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
Sony's does not look like that. Theirs looks like a UFO with buttons going around the outside edges of this ring.
It's certainly interesting.
It's an interesting looking controller. Because I don't need something like that, I haven't looked into how this works and what you would do to use this controller. I like that it's there, and I really like that Sony has done their own controller like this so that more people can play games. It's just I don't know how you would use this because it's not a situation that I've ever been in.
It looks like it's 2 separate controllers.
Yeah, It is. There's two separate pieces that have, different rings of different buttons around them and, giant analog sticks or...
And if I'm not mistaken, I think everything is customizable on here too.
Oh, I would almost be 100% positive that is the case, where you can take things off and switch them around and put them wherever you need them to be for it to work for you.
Actually, it might just be the one controller. It's just you can't have everything on there at one time. I don't know. I should probably watch the video, but it's going to do something to the stream, so I'm not going to do that.
Let's see. I'm looking at the news story right now. It's designed to be used on its own with another one of what they're calling Project Leonardo. So you can have one or two. You can use it in conjunction with a traditional DualSense controller. There's all kinds of customizable options that you can do with it.
I can see people even without disabilities trying to or wanting to get these just to, kind of like how the Switch, how you can have the two disconnected controllers where you have half and half.
Yeah.
That would.
I haven't seen any information on pricing yet. I don't think they have.
I'm pretty sure these have to be stationary, though, based on how they look.
Yeah, they're going to sit on a table or something. It's not like a Joy-Con that you can pick up and move around.
PlayStation, make Joy-Cons.
They did that. It's called the Move controller.
Oh yeah, there's going to be new ones on the new PSVR.
Yeah.
Can't wait for my order to come in because I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I have no idea how much this controller costs. I don't think they've talked about a release.
No, this was just shown off over at CES.
Yeah. So we're still a little ways out from the release of this controller, but I'm glad they're doing it. And I know Nintendo has something. They have a controller that you can use. It's not an officially first-party one. I think it's an 8BitDo or one of the other companies. Has released a controller, an accessibility controller for the Switch.
Okay.
So all of them now, in some way or another, have one of these controllers designed for people.
Well, at least we have like two first-party controllers.
Yeah. For
2 of the systems out of 3.
So, speaking of Nintendo, though, one of everybody's favorite developers at Nintendo, Mr. Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh.
Who are you going to say?
I thought you were going to say someone like way more entertaining to my ideas of. I'm kidding. I knew who it was. I helped build the notes.
Yes, you put the show notes for these stories together. This is actually 2 or 3 weeks old at this point. I remember this coming out. He was on one of his YouTube videos, and he was talking basically about how he is more or less at this point semi-retired, which good for him. Like, he deserves it. I mean, he's not really that old. I think he's in his 50s right now.
Dude's made like the same game, 6 or a game that's got 6 or 5 other sequels to it.
Yeah,
across 6 different consoles.
He's definitely deserved some time. He's earned some time off. That's for sure. Before he fully retires, I want him to make one more game. Has nothing to do with Smash Brothers.
Joe Dozer.
Huh? No, that's a Game Freak. They would do that.
But I mean, if he made Drill Dozer.
Oh, if he made Drill Dozer, that'd be amazing. But no, he needs to make one more Kid Icarus game before he comes.
Oh, that. Yeah.
But there are some rumors that maybe Namco Bandai might be working on a Kid Icarus game. But we'll see. But yeah, Sakurai he's doing he's releasing a bunch of these, game development.
He's only 52?
Yeah, he's not that old.
Wow.
So, but yeah, he's done enough to, at least be semi-retired and take on some projects maybe that he wants to do that aren't going to be so intensive like Smash Brothers has been over the last few years.
No, I'm not making another Smash Brothers. No, I'm not going to put your favorite crappy character in there.
Like, we know
He says it all the time. He knows.
there's going to be more Smash Brothers. He probably won't be involved, in the day-to-day of the next Smash Brothers game. Nintendo's not going to let Smash Brothers die. It's too much of a moneymaker for them.
He can no longer tell you no, Goku can't be in Smash.
I would expect probably that Bandai will take over development of Smash Brothers, because they did the bulk of the work with Sakurai on Ultimate. So it would make sense for them to take over and be the primary development team for Smash Brothers. But that's
I mean, the way Nintendo is, they'd probably bring in someone else anyway.
I don't know.
First party.
I don't know. I mean, to be at least like the face of Smash Brothers, yes, they will probably have someone from Nintendo take over for Sakurai. But the actual development of the game, I would not be surprised if Bandai is the lead development team for the game.
That's fair.
So, but speaking of Sakurai, this another interesting question was brought up on his YouTube channel, and he was asked when he buys a game for a system, does he get the game physically or digitally? And his response very quickly was that he is team digital all the way. So Sakurai is a fan of the digital future.
I'm not fully against it, so it's like if I can get a game physical, great. But I mean, I have no problem getting digital games now.
Anymore, for me, it's mostly digital with the exception of first-party Switch stuff. Like, if I'm buying a first-party Nintendo game, I'm going to do what I can to get the game physically. Mostly because their digital content sharing is garbage. And if multiple people in my family want to play a game, we have to have the cartridge. So for most games, if it's something that I'm going to play by myself and I'm going to be the only one that plays it, I don't care. I'll just grab it digitally. Usually I pick a lot of that stuff up when they're on sale. Anyway. But I'm probably about 70-30, maybe 75-25 digital versus physical.
Yeah, I don't know what my percentages are, so...
I mean, that's just a guess. It could be completely different, but most of the stuff that I buy digitally. It's just, first-party Switch games. Or if I happen to be in a store and I see Horizon Zero Dawn for $5 on a shelf. Or that one game, the space game, that was so garbage at the beginning. Why can I not remember the name of that game?
No Man's Sky?
Yes, No Man's Sky. I got that for $5. And I got a copy of Balan Wonderworld for $5. So, yeah, and I've got people in my chat talking about digital versus physical. I actually ended up getting the most expensive PS5. I could have gotten the digital one, but I have not seen a digital PS5 on a store shelf. If I've seen the PS5, it's always been
I have not seen a digital one in person either, and I've seen them or Walmart have PS5s and Xbox One and Series X's in stock.
Vinyl records are a good investment, chat. I can tell you that. So what'd you say, Ethan? Sorry,
Don't worry about it.
We're talking about the PS5. So yeah, I've only ever seen the one with the disc drive, and I've seen a ton of like the digital Xboxes, the Series S, and a handful of Series X's on the shelf. I grabbed one of those as soon as I could. I don't really know why I went with the one with the physical media on both of them. Maybe it was just because that's what happened to be on the shelf at the time, because I probably would have gotten a Series S over a Series X, but the one time when I got it, I just happened to see a Series X on the store shelf, and I was like, okay, I'll grab that one.
Yeah, but then we also have developers complaining about the Series S being the reason they can't make better games.
Yeah, I don't know how much credence there is to that.
It just probably depends on the developer and what they're complaining about that day.
It's that same thing with like the Switch right now, where everybody's like, the Switch hardware is holding games back, and games are garbage on the Switch because Pokemon was bad, and that is not a Switch issue. That is a Game Freak issue. I am fully convinced that that is. If the
No,
game,
the game is perfect as is, Tony.
if the
I don't know
game,
why everyone's having problems with
if the
this.
game doesn't run well on the system, it's the fault of the developer for not making the game work properly on the system, not the system itself.
Yeah, we've seen like Mario games work like flawlessly on there. The Odyssey stuff.
Kirby is a fantastic game,
Oh yeah,
which
Kirby.
is
That
you know
had stuff going on all the time.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 runs really nicely on the Switch. There are tons of games that are bigger in scope than Pokemon that run well on the Switch. So if Pokemon runs poorly, it's not the Switch's fault.
Speaking of faults,
Speaking of, I should have segued into this when I talked about Yuji Naka a minute ago, because he's in a lot of trouble, and this is a story that's a little old as well, but one that we wanted to talk about because
we haven't recorded in over a month.
Yeah, so it happened first a couple months ago where he got in trouble with some insider trading stuff, and was
then
arrested.
He got arrested again.
Then a few weeks later, he got arrested again, and now he has actually been indicted and will face charges in court for insider trading. It's regarding Dragon Quest too, I believe. It's something specific to Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier.
Okay.
Dragon Quest here. Dragon Quest Tact.
Oh, the mobile game.
Yes. So yeah, it's something to do with the mobile stuff that Square was involved with that he was going through. I forget what I forget what that company was called. I don't see it on here, but you're looking at shares that were valued around 834,000 altogether.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
or as they said, 144.7 million yen.
Which sounds like a lot more, but
it's kind of like a lot more. Yeah. God, that really goes against like the usual valuing I do on dollar to yen.
Well, for a while there, it was that I think
it was just like add 2 decimal points and you're good.
Yeah, which made it really easy to do the conversions.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. But yeah, Yuji Naka, he's in deep here. Have a good lawyer.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble, and people are having a lot of fun with the Balan Wonderworld logo because of this, and changing the word Balan to felon.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah. So
and then I even made the joke about like how we need a mod on Sonic Adventure 2, replacing Sonic with Yuji on there and doing City Escape.
It's just so sad too. Like that the first time he got arrested, I was like, "What in the world is going on?" But then it just kept happening over and over again. You're like, "Oh, he just does." Can't
the first time it's like, "Oh, that's funny." Yeah, Yuji getting arrested. Second time, right? Okay, what did he do this time? and then it's like now he's indicted. It's like, well, here we are.
Yeah. So, I would not be surprised if he spends a little bit of time in jail and we don't see anything from him video game wise for a while. Like he had talked about Balan Wonderworld being sort of his last chance to make a big game, and that may be the case now, but not because Balan Wonderworld was bad, but because he can't stay out of trouble with the law. So
I mean, he's got all this stolen insider knowledge money now.
Like Martha Stewart got in trouble, man. If Martha Stewart goes to jail for insider trading, how do you think you're going to get away with it?
I mean, look at her now. She's more popular than ever.
That is true. She did her time, became super big friends with Snoop Dogg. And
I was about to make the same reference.
And now she is, she's big name again.
Yes.
So. But yeah, Yuji Naka, sorry, man. I would have loved to see a new Ivy the Kiwi game from you, but It's going to be kind of hard to do that if you're in jail. So, and then our last news story. It comes around twice a year. Ethan gets stupid excited when it does.
Yes.
And then I look
That's
at the
why I get
schedule.
show notes.
Yeah, I look at the schedule and find all the stuff I'm going to watch on replay because I don't get a chance to watch GDQ live very often. There are a few things I do catch, but it's January and that means it is time for Awesome Games Done Quick, which starts this week.
Tomorrow.
Does it start tomorrow? As of
Tomorrow
the time of the recording.
So Sunday. So I don't know. I might edit this tomorrow during a very brief downtime and get it uploaded so I can just watch the stuff all week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts for us. It's starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It starts at 10:30 with the pre-show, and then Central Standard Time. And then 11 o'clock they open up with Splatoon 3. The entire event's going to be digital only, which I think I've talked about this 3 episodes that we've done now. Yeah. So I'm not going to bore you with going through the schedule, saying what I'm looking forward to. Oh my gosh, Metal Gear Solid 5's on here.
Well, they're starting off with 3 games that I'm really interested in, with Splatoon 3, Breath of the Wild, and Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
Yeah, they're doing Crash 3 from it specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just day one, it's like banger, 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 all bangers right there.
Yeah, it is a really good start to the event. So,
and then you have Blade 2, and you're like, why?
Why not, really?
But I'll probably stay up so I can watch that Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines run, just because if you want a broken Source engine game, that's the game to run.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the schedule in the show notes so you can see everything that is happening.
You're making me do more work now. Ugh.
So, well, here, I'll put the link in the show notes that we have right now. So you can just copy it. There you go.
I have the schedule on my screen, actually. So
it's just gamesdonequick.com/schedule is all. So
yeah,
go check that out. There's always good runs at GDQ, and there's always interesting stuff to find.
And if you miss the live stream of it, you can always go to the Twitch channel and catch the VOD. Or if you wait,
it's usually 2 or 3 days afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 to 3 days after they'll have the actual games that you're looking for cut and put up on YouTube. So it'd be like, oh, I wanted to see this Mario run. Well, there it is, right there.
Yeah. So you can just find what you're looking for. I haven't seen what they're doing for like the bad game block.
Oh gosh,
Yo-Noid is one of those, I would imagine.
Yeah, it really is. There it is. Okay, the bad game block, the awful block. There we go. Yo-Noid 2 Game of a Year edition. Sorry, Yolanda, the Ultimate Challenge. Whip Percentage is the run for that. That's an Amiga game. Lizard Lady versus the Cats. That's a PS5 game. Wow. Office Race. Salamander County Public Television.
I love the names of these games.
Battle of the Eras. Oh gosh, I really don't know where this. Oh, okay.
It ends at Sonic.
So it ends with Sonic Blast, not Sonic 3D
Oh no,
Blast.
There's more after that.
Yeah, there's a couple more, but it's Sonic Blast, not Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic Blast is technically the sequel to. I think it's Sonic. Oh gosh! Yeah. It's one of the Game Gear games, and it's like Sonic takes up most of the screen, and it's super. The sprite looks like they tried to make it 3D and stuff. It looks bad.
I love the title. I'm going to die if I don't eat sushi.
Yep.
And Steven Seagal is the final option.
That's the last one there, I think, or that might be. Yeah, it's because you can't say Mega Man ZX is in the awful block. You don't do that. That's a great game. And I'm probably gonna sleep through all these and just catch the VOD later.
Yeah, I mean, those are not ones you're not going to stay up for those, but they'll be ones that are going to be fun to watch after the fact.
It's no Mega Man DOS release.
No, nothing is Mega Man DOS. That is a
I mean,
beautiful mess, is what that is.
they even had incentives to have it like a worse version of it run. That was so great.
So GDQ runs through. It runs for a week from Sunday to Saturday.
Sunday to Saturday. Last game will be Super Mario Brothers 3 by Mitch Flower Power. And it should be done about 11:30 Saturday night.
Yep.
That's a little early for them. Usually I bet they'll have like bonus games.
They might.
They'll have like an incentive to get like a bonus game after that.
Yeah.
I bet. And also this will be Mike Uyama's final GDQ.
He is one of the co-founders, right?
He is like the founder.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's others. I know there's definitely others involved, but the first GDQ took place in his mom's basement. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm stepping down, taking a walk away from this, and on to new projects. So
yeah,
good for him. He's done a great job. Happy to see that it's gonna still go on without him.
Yep. GDQ will continue.
And I bet he'll be involved like as a runner occasionally, or probably in the crowd as a viewer or something at some point.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. That will be it for the show this week, Ethan, unless you've got anything else you want to talk about before we're done.
So there's this thing called ESA. I'm kidding.
That's not right now.
No, I think that's like probably next month, actually.
Of course, we will probably talk about that when that time comes. So, but it'll be mentioned. Yeah. So, but that will be it for the show. So, thank you very much, Ethan, for being here.
Man, it's been a while since we recorded a show. This seems weird.
It has been. But we should be back next week with more